What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Sorcerer's Codex. Today, we are going to be putting our VODs from the campaigns on the channel, hopefully from here on. We're going to start with the Tuesday campaign. Still making a decision on whether or not to boot the Saturday game back up, but basically, when everything becomes normal again, we're going to be running a campaign on Tuesday and on Saturday. It's in the same world. It is in the same time frame, and at this point in the story, both parties have actually met and will occasionally reference one another. These games have been going on for about 3 years, roughly. So there's a lot of information and a lot of backstory and a lot of whatever that I don't think that anybody's really going to understand. These campaigns were not really intended on being a streamed show. Like Critical Role is a streamed show, and in the first campaign, they kind of launched right into the middle of their story, and it was easier to digest because the game was divided up into sections and divided up into character arcs, and you could kind of get a sense of the characters in Critical Role from a few paragraphs of information. These characters are not that. They are very complex, and a lot of their motivations are hidden or not revealed to the table yet. They have a lot of internal things going on. There's a lot of internal conflict that we don't get to see at the table, and there's a lot of external conflict from a lot of different directions. It's not just one story that they're dealing with. It's we're dealing with this one story right now, but we're also thinking about these 4 or 5 other things that's going on. So that's sort of a loose introduction to the campaign. Each character in my games takes about roughly 2 weeks of design time. There's a full-blown process, and my goal with a lot of characters is to reduce the rate that players ask DM, what do I know about this? My intent is to already have a lot of these conversations and give the players the tools to be the authority on their character and where they're from, and have the knowledge of these things, so they don't have to ask, and the players can freely RP without having to break into the story every now and again. This being the first episode, this introduction's going to be a lot longer than in future episodes because I have to introduce the campaign as a whole and introduce what's leading up to the story that you're about to see. So what's going on right now is that there is a huge threat. The name of the threat is Drakon. The name cannot be spoken. It cannot be spoken. I'm only saying the name this one time just to introduce you, the audience, to it. But there is a rule that the name cannot be spoken in character because anyone who hears the name can potentially go insane. And there is a house rule that even if you speak it out of character or you say it in Discord chat or anything like that, your character is basically subject to the fact that it thought the name. They didn't speak it out loud. It just thought the name in their head, and it was an accident, and they have to suffer the consequences. So very powerful, almost deity-like creature. It is a ruler of a domain that not even the gods can go to. In my campaign world, the gods actually walk the plane, so they're a little bit more directly involved with things than some other pantheons. But the setup to the story so far is the characters have gone to one of the characters, Roarwen, is a druid, gone to his circle to sort of get his tattoos back and see what can be done about the struggle. The leader of his circle, Andressa, has created a concoction that allows someone to drink it, and they become sort of immune to those mind altering effects of speaking the name for about 8 hours. So it's a very valuable potion that the party had previously stumbled across, and Andressa had um, figured out the formula for it. Unfortunately, a lot of the potions have been consumed already, and to acquire more, she has sent Roarwen and the party, which is Durnfall, Raz, and Serena, and they have been sent into the Bramblethorn Woods, which is a living forest. Uh, there was a lot of investigation going on within the forest, and a lot of people just don't even know what it is, and people that go in go missing. It's a very dangerous forest, but they have been granted protection from the woods thanks to um, a meeting of the minds, if you will. They actually found out there's a civilization of treants and of um, forest-like beings that call this place their home. And essentially, the woods was they were defending themselves from intruders. They just thought everything was hostile, basically. Um, and but now there's some negotiation and some level of ambassadorship between the Bramblethorn Wood and the rest of the world, basically. So the party is entering the woods. There's a lot of dangers going on, and entering the woods, one of the first things they found was this hut, and inside a woman that offered through some negotiation. Basically, she's going to be giving them a map to help them navigate to a individual that Rowarwin is aware of and knows that can help. So that is their mission. A few things of reference that you're going to hear. There's going to be talk of Serena unable to cast Wish. They have a ring in their possession that you attune to the ring, and you can cast Wish. It's a ring of 3 wishes, and once you cast those 3 wishes, you can no longer cast Wish with the ring. But the ring can be then attuned to another person, and that person can cast 3 wishes. So the ring can be passed around from person to person. The first wish that was cast with it went wrong. It went completely wrong, and Serena was impacted with the debilitation that comes with casting Wish and failing the check. But it is a little unclear if she is able to cast Wish herself ever again. Currently, that is the theory. So, which I know the answer, but the table doesn't. So they have to investigate that. You're going to hear of that event sort of primarily, and there's a reference to a pixie named Kelpie. And this is a character that was created in homage to another one of our friends who runs a Kelpie character, and I did the voice for it to bring it into my game, sort of imitating her RP. She does Conan Exile RP with the character and stuff like that. But that character was involved in a merchant. There's this merchant that travels from place to place and is only available during certain times of the calendar year. So the players have to keep track of the calendar year, determine if it's a month where that particular merchant is active, and then seek him out if they desire to purchase things from him. That's one of the things going on in my game. The pixie referred to as Kelpie works for that merchant and runs a desk and sells magic items. So that should get you caught up, at least loosely, on what's going on. Again, they're trying to ultimately defeat the the entity that they can't speak the name of. That's their primary goal, but there's some other things going on. I hope you enjoy this episode, and yeah, if you're interested in watching live, we're going to go on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Roughly starting between 6 and 6:30 is generally what it seems to be happening, depending on our tech issues. So again, enjoy, and let me know what you think in the comments. All right. So, the woman, Roarwen, knits in front of you. The yarn is quite thick, very thick strands of yarn that create this interweaving it's basically an interweaving cloth, and there's nothing too spectacular about it. It's basically just intersectional, that just basically creates a grid pattern, and it's probably just a little bit smaller than like a piece of paper. There, it's done.
He'll sort of crane his neck over and go, "Much appreciated," and sort of stand up to receive this this knit.
Okay. Her long fingers just kind of extend out and hold it out to you. There's nothing obvious on it that indicates anything, really.
He'll take it and sort of like a teeter it in and away from the light, sort of like shimmering it a bit, and then like look on the backside. And if he doesn't notice anything, he'll just go, "How do I read this?"
It will reveal itself to you. Such is the nature of the Bramblethorn.
Very well. Appreciate your time and effort. If there's nothing else, I think I'll join my companions outside and keep looking for my friend.
She only nods.
Take care. And he'll exit the place.
As you exit, and the door kind of creaks closed behind you. You start hearing a rumbling as you start walking towards your companions.
Which direction?
So you're walking out the front door, so it'd be behind the hut itself. And you see large vines come out like fingers and just grab the hut itself. It breaks and shatters into pieces and gets sucked into the darkness of the Bramblethorn woods, the thicket, if you will, that's off the road.
Right, yeah. As like the fingers come over, he sort of like, takes a bit of a leap off the steps per se and away from the hut.
Yeah, and you don't hear any sounds of distress or anything like that. It just comes in, just takes the hut within moments. And it's gone before you really have a chance to process in your mind the swiftness of what just happened. And even just kind of glancing down at the ground, you would expect to see some wood splinters or something from the hut. It basically just got crushed in front of you, and there's nothing there.
Made an impression, didn't you there, Ro? Where'd that house go off to?
He sort of like looks at the ground, looks at where the house was dragged off before turning to Durnfall and just going, I guess she went back home. He sort of like rolls his shoulders a little bit and then like holds out the the map, and just goes, well, she made me a map. Apparently it works when it
You
should
start to
work.
see, as you're holding it out, you start to see pieces of the grid-like pattern begin opening, and you see the knit moving. Imagine seeing just piles of snakes just kind of slithering. That is what this yarn is doing, is just moving. And it's creating what appears to be the image of a roadway heading in a direction. And as you move the map, it just takes a few seconds for the map to just kind of rotate in the yarn.
So it's kind of giving us like a right here impression, or at least
to an extent, yes.
And he'll sort of like wheel the map around a little bit and be like, oh, it does work. And then once he's got like the bearing of which way the road is pointing, he'll be like, we need to go that way.
Rowan, may I see that for a moment?
Of course. And he'll hand it over to Serena.
Serena will take it, just examine it. I want to cast Detect Magic on it. Just to get a sense of like, because being a cartographer and also interested in developing map technology with Clara for use throughout Gaia, this is wild and very interesting to me.
Okay. So it's going to take you 10 minutes to cast ritually. Are you going to cast it ritually, or are you going to use a spell slot?
Nope, I'm using a slot.
Okay. Immediately you bring forth the vision of magic around you. There is a hint of magic just everywhere within 30, like on the ground and the trees and everything, there's a layer of just general magic. The map itself is magical with properties of the school of divination.
Just nod. Makes sense. I'll have to take some time later on to examine it further. I don't want us to dally here, but thank you. And she'll hand it back to him.
Oh, he'll take and be like, "So nice of you to trust in my map reading skills." With like a smile in the corner of his mouth. But we should go this way.
You all
And
travel.
he'll start. Yeah, he'll start walking and be like, "She knitted this. It was quite strange."
Let's go then.
Wild. It
You
was
know-
weird.
It's just I've never seen such a way, but wild's a word for it. As he like broadly gestures around him.
Hey, I can deal in puns too.
If only it were a currency, you'd be rich.
So, you continue now throughout the Bramblethorn. It's strange that there is this trail, and the map seems to be reacting to the trail as you walk. And on either side of the trail, there's an occasional tree or stump or something in your way as you're walking. It's a very it's footpath traffic, so it's a very narrow walkway, if you will. But on either side is very thick brush, bushes, trees, and it's as if the light just does not go in to the tree line. It just kind of fades into a darkness, which is quite odd. From time to time, you can hear things moving around on either side of you and stopping to listen or anything of that nature. You don't seem to hear the sounds again. You come across an intersection. You can continue going forward, or you can go to the right. And it's strange because the path doesn't just curve off to the right. It is a 90-degree just intersection. Looking down at the map, you see the trail continuing on, and then you see it splinter off to the right, and it shows the image of, say, a bag, and it has like a couple, like the bag is kind of open, so like the thick yarn opens up and it becomes a more finely detailed image of what appears to be a bag with some coins in it.
He'll look at it and tilt his head and then sort of like turn to everyone else and like, "Hey, come, look at this." What? And he'll point to the bag of coins and go, "That's interesting."
Is your friend a bag of coins?
It could mean a lot of things. Do we want to go that way, or
Possible could be affiliated with some kind of business. Is there stores, retailers here within the Bramblethorn? That doesn't seem logical or right. A treasure, perhaps?
A trick?
Here for a reason, aren't we?
yeah, but it's not every day that you get a magical sort of knitted map that also highlights bags of gold. No, I don't think it's literal.
There's no one else here that could use a little more gold, if you know what I'm saying. Up to you all.
How far down, like like, is it just we're looking at this thing and it's like just a little bit down the track it's leading to that, or is it like farther down because we can't really see from where we're at?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
$26.
It didn't pop up on Foundry.
But it. Okay. It says it's whispering it to you, even though I've got my
Oh.
stuff set to public roles. Hang on.
I do see it. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at the other my player version. Okay. So, especially as a map maker, you're looking at this and you understand that whatever magic is creating a map, it is definitely not to scale, whatever it is. This feature, whatever's going on, it's saying it's to the right, and it's basically giving you a clue of what is to the right. Not that you have exactly this distance to reach whatever thing. You know, it's on the roadway is only an inch or two, and then it just kind of blossoms out into the artwork of the bag with the coins in it. And if you've been paying any attention to the map as you've been traveling, it's meant to be more of a compass rather than an actual map.
Okay. So Serena sort of examines it for a second, looks to the group and says, I guess it would be up to interpretation. If we are looking for a specific thing, this could be the thing that we are looking for. Your friend, is there any specific symbolism that is associated with this person?
No, but he's not a bag of gold. He's not a bag of coins, I should say. We don't know if it's gold. It's not a bag of coins. He would be a big tree with wings.
How about, does he do trades?
No, but he is a experimental cook. So again, a bag of coins, not really.
The at this point, the map sort of opens up for just a moment and just shows the image of a tree with wings. It's very generically continuing on the path. So it just kind of reveals that, as Roarwyn seemed to have been talking about it and seemed to have been inquiring about it, that just appears, and then it just kind of goes away.
Yeah, so
See
Serena,
that?
yeah, it seems to be reacting to whatever we're intending to find. Perhaps this bag of whatever coins is like a general direction, and we have to ask the map or consult it to continue on the direction we actually want to go.
Right. It's a smart map. It listens. And he'll sort of like look at the map and like directly talk to the map. I want to find Aquila. Where can I find Aquila?
The same effect happens again. The path straight ahead, that symbol reveals itself and then kind of goes away. Sort of letting you know that you would have to continue going in that direction to find him. But again, that bag of the gold and the bag of gold remains. It's not vanishing.
Right. He'll ask it one more question. The bag of coins, is it dangerous? And he'll wait to see if there's a reaction from it.
It doesn't seem to react. It's
Right.
it's not aware
He'll just
of.
turn to everyone else and go, it's worth a try. So did we want to take a bit of a detour, or did we want to go straight to where we want to be?
I mean, I'm for checking it out. We're wandering these woods, and if you feel confident that you can help us find the right path again, you have the most experience. That is why, although maps are my thing, I'm deferring to your expertise in this area.
He sort of looks around and goes, as long as you're all confident, then I'm confident.
It's tempting, but we also don't know how long these. And then she points to the markings on the back of her hand. We don't know how long these will last.
Rowan would know how long they lasted.
The protection.
Yeah.
It several days. I mean, they should last for weeks at a time.
Right.
We'll just say
Then-
it lasts about a month.
As long
Right,
as we
then-
don't wash our hands.
Then he'll turn to Raz and be like, you're safe to be in here for about a month almost. It's not like a weekend pass.
What was the description of those protections? I don't recall what I stated.
They were strips of flesh that were put onto the back of our hands and sort of like merged with them.
Yeah. So, Roarwin, you would know. So syntax, you understand. It's going to function very similarly to like a henna tattoo, like the ones that last, then last, and last, and last.
Yeah. He just turns around and goes, they'll last, like a month, probably more. We've got the time. It's just
Do
I
we
think it's
really
worth-
have time? There's always. She looks a little flustered. You know, it's your woods.
I think it's worth checking out
I mean, I'm
because
curious.
you never know what you're going to find, and I don't know if the symbols are completely literal. We could find a small patch of those roses, for all we know. That is a treasure. I think it's worth looking for. Besides, Aquila is also coming to us, so it's not like we aren't making progress to getting to where we want to be.
She just nods.
Us meeting in the middle. Aye, fine. Let's do it. Map, lead the way.
I looked down at the map.
It doesn't do anything. Which way do you guys want to go?
Rowan starts heading towards the direction of Bag of Coins.
Okay, you take a right, and start heading that way. It maybe only 3 or 4 minutes before you come into a clearing. So, the road again, all of the turns are going to be basically 90 degrees. Just so you guys are aware. It cuts to the left and continues on past the clearing, straight ahead. In the clearing is a fully covered cart that has a side that is pulled open, and you see basically what appears to be a mobile merchant's cart.
Found a peddler in the wood. That's great.
You can see inside of it because the window is open. You can see several vials of liquid, and a few other things. You can't really get all the details just by looking, but you can tell that there are things within the wagon. And it's organized very much like a shop would be.
What do you say we approach this merchant in the meadow?
Could this be where Antonio came from? Or perhaps affiliated with his trade business?
I will also state you see where a horse or something would be attached, but you don't see an animal and you don't see a person.
So you see any signs of struggle or damage or anything like that from here?
Give me an investigation or perception, whatever you wish, and different results will happen based on what you choose to roll.
Investigation.
21. Okay. Looking around, nothing seems disturbed. The where the horse or whatever animal would be attached seems purposefully placed up on a log to kind of support it up. The shop itself seems organized, so not disturbed in a way that would indicate somebody coming in and causing a fight or anything of that nature. Just seems, and it also doesn't seem, with that roll, I will also say it doesn't seem like the wagon has been here for an extraordinary amount of time unattended. So, like, the vines and stuff are not growing up under it or anything like that. It looks maintained.
Perhaps he went for a piss. Or lost his horse. No. I'll go up and check it out.
Yeah, we'll approach and see what's going on.
Okay. So, approaching the wagon, you just walk up, or are you trying to be cautious, or what's the deal?
It's a wagon in the woods. I mean, like, I assume I'd be looking around to see if there's anything.
Go ahead
Around,
and
but-
give me a perception check as you guys approach.
Yeah, Raz will be cautious.
Rags to riches with me.
Do I roll?
Yeah, everybody.
Did
can.
everyone roll or just me?
Everyone that's
Alright.
that's wanting
See
to
everything.
look around as you approach. Okay. As you approach, there does not seem to be any level of threat or anything nearby. Raz, there's no. Actually, there are large footprints leading behind the wagon. Raz, you notice them as pretty much as you are within 10 feet of the wagon. You happen to spot them, leading behind the wagon there.
Yeah, she immediately points. Well, that could be an issue.
Wait, what?
Right here, and she points to the large footprints.
Oh boy.
But they're leading away from the cart?
Yeah, it kind of went behind it. You're not sure where they went after that.
Yeah, I want to circle around the cart, see if this
Roarin goes
cart
with her.
person is taking a piss behind the cart or what's going on.
Yeah, so you walk behind the cart. There's nothing really back there. You see the footprints take about three or four steps and then just vanish.
Well, whatever it was, it's not here anymore. I'll turn to Roar and say, perhaps the woods took it the same it took the hut?
Or it's something with big feet and large wings and can fly.
Ooh, yes, that's true.
I mean, we are in a clearing. It can fly out. Would also explain why there's no horses.
Because they also would have been picked up?
Could have been picked up, or whatever is flying also drags the cart around with its wings.
Sure.
Rowan wants to look around the cart to see if, like, was the cart dragged into place? Like, is there tracks? You know, is the grass around the cart look like it's been growing up around the wheel to state that it's been there for a long time and things of that nature?
What was your perception?
Like, is there a track, like, leading in, or was it dropped?
Yeah, as you start looking for these things, you notice there's no track of evidence of movement aside from basically 4 footprints. Those footprints look they're not fresh, but they're not old.
All right. Then, after making his observation, be like, well, either this thing was magicked here or carried here. It didn't roll in. It isn't drawn by horse. He'll go up to, like, the open window. Is there, like, a bell or something?
You look and yeah, sure enough, there's a small, like, miniature bell.
Like a ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Or it's like a ping ping ping.
Like thimble sized.
Yeah. If it,
It's tiny.
It's small.
If it looks like something that is used to get the attention of the shopkeep, he'll pick it up and give it a little tinkle.
Yeah, so you pick it up and try and figure out a way to you finally get a it's a pretty high pitched sound. And out from a nearby pot, you see movement as this very tiny pixie stretches. Hi! I was taking a nap.
I can see that. Sorry to disturb you. Are you the proprietor of this cart?
That I am.
Pleasure to meet you. My name's Roarin.
Kinsey.
What an adorable name. What wares do you have?
Well, she comes flying out of the pot and goes over to the shelves. I have several different types of potions, some different kinds of enchanting stuffs over here. And she points at some boots sitting in the floor.
Sounds fascinating. Are these just general potions of healing? Do they protect? What type of potions do you wear?
I have several different types of potions of healing, and there's certain potions that make you big and strong. And she flexes her muscles, and then she looks back and forth at her very tiny muscles, and she blows on the end of her thumb, and they puff up real big for her, and then they deflate.
Yeah, as she does that, Rowan sort of like throws his hands in the air, like, feigning surrender. Oh, I careful with those.
Yeah, I'm very dangerous.
I bet you are. He turns to the rest of the group and goes, anyone short on potions? Anyone want extra potions? He looks at Durnful. Stronger potions?
I'd hear prices, but like I said, I'm a bit skint.
What do you trade in, Kinsey?
All sorts of things, including favors.
Well, there you go, Durnful.
Oh boy. All yours, not mine.
I owe plenty of people favors, kindnesses in return, gestures. I don't think I'm really well equipped to provide a value to this fine Kinsey in the wood.
You never know what sort of value that you could provide. Someone so small as myself.
Won't be to get the jar off the top of the shelf. You probably can get up there better than I, especially with those guns.
Perhaps.
Kinsey, what is the deal with those boots? What is going on with them?
They don't look like much, but they're very sneaky boots.
Sneaky boots, you say?
They are.
It's fascinating. Did you make them yourself, or did you sneak them from someone else?
She kind of is taken aback by the question. I am no thief.
Did not mean any insult, more to play on the boot's nature itself.
These boots, when worn, can potentially leave different tracks.
That is a fine thing for boots to do. Is that
Turnfall
What?
looks over the big boot prints.
what you have on display?
I was testing them out.
They work.
Yeah, definitely had me guessing as to how they got there. I do wonder, and there is a particular potion that I wouldn't mind if you had to work out some sort of trade. It goes by the name of a potion of heroism.
I have several of those. What sort of trade would you like to engage in?
Do you like shiny things?
Well, I am in business.
It's very true. He pulls out he has 3 remaining diamonds, and he pulls them out and he sets them on the table.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of motions to them. Is this enough shiny things?
She wants to pick them up and inspect them. So what roughly is their value?
They were all roughly worth 100 GP.
Mm. I can accept this, but I feel like I need a little bit more.
He pulls out 6 queens, which I believe is the gold coins, and sort of stacks the.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
6?
stacks. Yeah, 6 of them, and he stacks them neatly next to the diamond.
Gold coins of some undeterminate currency? She looks at them.
He's like, "Well, they're the currency from where I'm from," and he like points in the general direction of where New Gitlir is. But they are gold.
That they are. Not very much of it. She points at the 6 coins.
It's 6 gold shiny bits and 3 shiny diamonds.
Is this all you have to offer?
He pulls out 8 wolves, which I believe is the silvers,
Mm-hmm.
and he sort of like, just sort of like rolls them onto the wood window. Like, there you go. Now there's silver coins, gold coins, and diamonds.
And what about a small favor? A teensy weensy little bitty bitty favor.
Depends on the favor.
Well, I don't have a need for a favor right this minute, but I'll know when I need one.
Oh, it's a wonderful IOU.
It's just a small one.
How small is small?
Small.
You can't use a word to define a word.
Yes, because small can actually be
Well,
big
I'm
for
small.
us.
You may be small, but you're also very strong.
And look at those tracks that you left.
Those were
Quite an
illusionary
impression.
tracks from my
Still-
friend.
Still an impression nonetheless.
How's about 1 hour of my time? A favor that is that big. That's a small favor.
1 hour?
Mm-hmm.
I could do a lot with an hour. Deal.
Done.
Good luck.
Thank you.
What? Oh, did you? Oh, you said done. Sorry.
All right.
Alright, then
So here you
So
go. She goes and grabs a vial and flies it over to the counter, puts it down, and then grabs another and puts it down on the counter, and then grabs another and puts it down on the counter. So there's 3 vials there.
are these all for me? As
Mm,
he reaches for them.
yes.
Thank you. He'll pick them up and inspect them. I assume Roarin would know what a potion of heroism would look like.
Yeah, you know your potions. Yeah, these are this 3 potions of heroism.
Then yeah, he takes them, puts them in his little sack.
Okay. She
Yeah.
takes the diamonds and the other things, and one by one she throws them in that little pot she came out of.
Always a pleasure doing business. And he'll step away. And just sort of like look to anyone else if they want to vie for anything off of her.
After hearing about this contractual favor, just on a lark, Dern's going to just quietly use divine sense to see if he's just made a deal with the devil.
Can you link it into the thing so I can?
Sure.
I can.
Yeah, it's just celestial fae, or celestial, not fae, but celestial undead or fiend.
Yeah, there's no celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you.
I just shrug. I'm like, alright.
Are we done?
I have so much more to sell. Surely there's things that you need and want for your travels.
No, I think I'm good.
Just looked at my currency tab. I have nothing.
You have negative currency, don't you?
Yeah, I owe one of those favors to a queen somewhere. Yeah.
But
Well,
we
if-
definitely appreciate your time and his hour, I guess.
Kinsey will appreciate my hour. It's not the first time I've struck a deal with a pixie. He
Do
he
it.
like he pulls out the like amulet he's wearing. Got this off Kelpie, remember? And he like smells it. Still smells of cookies.
Oh yes, and
puts it
I
away.
also, got that wonderful.
Kelpie? You know
Cape.
Kelpie?
You know Kelpie?
I do.
Yes. She was working for Alistair Lathianen.
Is that where she
selling
went off to?
trinkets. Yes.
Sell out.
She seemed to enjoy her job, however. And I managed to get this amulet off her for a good price.
Well, good to hear that she's doing fine.
Yes, she was out selling. And he looks to everyone else. Was it a goblin?
Yeah, it was a
Think it was a
goblin.
I
goblin.
believe so, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was out selling a goblin in the tent, so she's winning.
Well, good for her then.
Is she a friend of yours?
Mortal
Oh.
enemy.
Oh. A falling out between you?
No. Just a rivalry.
You're not siblings, are you?
No.
Well, we'll let you get back to your nap.
All right. Well, if you need anything else, just holler.
We'll know where to find you.
Are you sure?
Nope,
Okay.
but I think
care.
if we need, we'll find you. Rest well.
All right.
And Ron will turn and start leaving.
Kinsey, I have no money of lots of great wares, but I'll pay you one favor. Next time I see Kelpie, I'll let her know that you sold the Decans out of us. You got so much gold out of us that, well, we walked away without any gold. It'll be true.
And what would you want for this favor?
Nothing.
Well, that's not
Just
good
if we see you
business.
again and I have money that you sell to me.
Well, I have no problem paying for a favor.
I don't know, what do you think that kind of favor is worth?
Here, I can give you this. She reaches into her pot and pulls out a coin.
Squint at it.
Give me a history check.
History. Can do.
Okay. First of all, you have no idea anything about this coin. You don't know its origin. You don't know anything about it. It has the image of a skull on it. It is old. And definitely, I mean, it has lots of wear. This coin, whatever it is, has been around.
Well, for a man that doesn't have a coin, happy to exchange it for that favor. And it
Just,
will be the last coin I ever spend.
well, I would try and find someone that wants that coin.
Have any ideas? Looks like a very old coin there.
It is a rare old coin that I found within these woods. And I haven't found anybody that wants it yet.
Well, sounds like I might be doing you another favor. But I'll take it. Like I said, last coin I'll ever spend. Unless, like you said, someone's looking for it.
Maybe?
Kind of take it as I put my hand out so she can put it in my hand.
Mhm.
It's like kind of it's like she just cough.
No, she just struggled.
Oh, she's just throwing. I'm like, I just kind of jostled my hand. Looking, I was like, is it a heavy coin, light coin?
No, it's got a little heft to it. It's heavier than a normal gold coin.
Okay, as I kind of flip back in my hand a couple times, check both sides to see the skull with anything on the other side.
No, it's blank. Well, there's a couple of dots on it. You don't know the significance, but if you were
Like
to
two
have
dots?
if you were to have an educated guess, the dots probably denote some form of value. But whatever system they're using, there's no.
Well, Kinsey, favor for a favor. I just tuck it in my my coin purse.
Okay.
Kind of slightly nod at her, give her a wink.
All right. All right. Well, if you need anything else, I'm here. And she'll go and fly into the pot.
All right, what does that map say now? What's your friend?
He pulls it out and looks at it.
Okay. In the center of the cloth, you see you're standing at the bag with the gold coins. There's a path to the left, right, and up on the map. And are you looking for the direction?
Yeah, he'll ask the same question of where can I find Acrylia and get
Okay.
the direction that is shown on the map and follow.
It looks like it is heading. It appears on the left path, the path that you came from.
Small backtrack and then down the other path.
It was a reasonable walk to get here, so it should not take us that much time.
Yeah, and he like pats his his knapsack and be like, "It's worth it, in my opinion."
All right. You head down the path, and after about 3 minutes or so, you see a path that is, it heads to the left, and a path straight ahead.
We'll go down the one that we haven't been down,
Okay.
because I'm now directionally challenged trying to work out which path is which.
Uh-huh. So you glance down at the map, and you can see that it has a path heading to the left and one straight ahead. You're just gonna go down the one straight ahead?
If that is the one that the little tree wing symbol popped up on, then yes.
Okay. Actually, it's the one to the left now.
Directionally challenged. We'll go down the one with the down the one with the tree wing symbol.
Yeah.
Is that not? Oh no, we went to the right to get to the.
Yeah,
To the
Serena,
bag.
something's wrong here.
Yeah. Oh, this is not making any sense. Is it turning us around in circles? What is going on?
Like, maybe your confidence in my map reading is overstated, but the symbol is this way. And he like just sort of fumbly hands it over to Serena. You can try and read it.
Yeah, so she'll take it and sort of look at it, and she's gonna walk, like, sort of turn and then walk towards the way that we went to go to the to Kinsey
Yeah.
and see how it changes.
It tends to follow you as you walk. You know,
Yeah,
the yarn kind of moves along with you.
because it's just strange because the last time that we were here, although he is moving, right? It had indicated that we should go the northern path, and yet now it is telling us to go west.
There also was not a western road, and there was a northern road.
But then how did we get to this clearing? How did we get to this fork?
You just walked back to the path.
What is it, Serena? I mean, I know we're. I look around. Is the forest changed at all? Or are we just? The
Yeah,
same?
like, are we saying that, like, there is now a path that is present here that wasn't here before?
Seems so.
She's gonna point to the left and just say that wasn't. It
No,
wasn't
the
here
one
before.
left is where you would have approached, right? Because you turned right. So now on the return path, you would have turned left to go back towards the hag, right?
Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to.
I
Yeah, so
at
I
this
want to.
point,
So
at this point, I kind of encourage you guys to try and keep track of this.
Who's got the graph paper?
sorry, I forgot that I was. Okay, so once we get back to this clearing, Serena's going to orient herself so that her back is to the path leading towards the hag.
Okay.
So
now your back is that way,
yes.
and now there's a path to the left and to the right.
So there's a path to the left and to the right.
Yep.
And we know that this is Kinsey. To the right. Correct?
The bag is no longer on the map.
Seems like. Is that path still there?
Yes.
Seems like Kinsey potentially moved her operation.
What do you see in there, Serena? Why do you say that?
Well, it's the bag is no longer there. It's no longer present on the map. It's possible she up and left, or it's possible that the forest is moving around us of its own accord. Which I think would track with the warnings that we got from Andressa and
This is your forest, Roaron. Is your forest known for moving around like it on its own accord?
Keep calling it my forest like I own it. I don't own it, it owns itself. It is alive, it could possibly move around.
Well, then can you tell it to at least lead us to wherever you need to go?
Well, that's what the map's for, and he points to it.
Are you sure?
so Serena will look down at the map and again say, "All right, map, we would like to go see. Oh God, what is his name?
Aquila.
Aquila.
Aquilia.
Okay.
Aquilia.
So with your back towards the way that you came from the hag,
Hmm.
that path is now revealing the tree with the wings. So behind you.
All right, it says we go this way.
Wait, look to the hag?
It's,
You know the hag's not there. We saw her home get pulled away.
I know, just where we came from, the hag.
Yes, well, if we remember when I talked to Aquila and was like, "Hey, let's meet up," it was all the way back there. He might have been heading in that direction the entire time.
Alright. Tell you, the mountains aren't this confusing.
Mountains don't often move. It's true.
Serana's gonna point in that direction, and on
Lead
the
the
off
way,
chance
Serena.
that he is within 120 feet, she's gonna try and message him and just say, "Aquile, if you are behind us, can you wait? I'm a friend of Roarn's."
Okay. You hear no
And then
response.
she's gonna start going down the way that the map is saying to go.
Okay. You head down that path, and after about, we'll say about 20 minutes or so, you come into an area and you see the hut.
So I see the what?
You see the hut.
The hut.
Oh. All right. Shit. Well, at least we know that the hut survived. Can
Is it in a different kind of locale,
No,
or does it
looks
look
like
exactly
the same.
like it was?
It looks
Looks like the same.
way.
Where it's like,
Rowan,
Hmm.
can you contact your friend?
Not until tomorrow.
yeah.
He,
I
like,
guess what time of
you
the
know,
day is it?
He pulls out his sending orb and he's like, "This only works once a day."
Oh, I didn't realize you did it when we got up. I thought you did it the night before.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm assuming it was today.
Okay, that's fine.
Playing it safe.
On the map, you see an image of like a clawed hand that is grasping a small doll.
I will say, according to my notes, Roran sent the message before we slept, so it's possible that it is recharged for today. But Serena will
Thanks to
just
the lore mistress.
point to the symbol on the map and say it seems like this is the symbol indicating the person that has provided us with this boon. So I wonder what the
Alright.
doll is.
I don't want to know. So again, see where he's at. It seems like you almost have to repeat some things.
Hmm. Can you show us the way to Aquile?
For simplicity purposes, even though it's not true north, south, or whatever, we'll just talk about the direction of the map. The image appears again on the northern path. Basically, the path you just came down.
All right. So it's saying that we go that way. Now, it's possible that he is somewhere in between the two clearings that we keep running into. So we should carefully walk down this path and ask it frequently and see if it stops. It's like it's stuck between two different places.
Seems like a perfect thing for Roran to do. He loves talking to maps, doesn't he?
It's the first time I've ever talked to a map. He says,
Oh,
like, surprise.
You're a natural, though.
Roran, what exactly is Aquile? What does he look like? I mean, the symbol is this tree with wings, but what are we looking for?
He sort of like blinks a few times and he's just like, well, a living tree with wings.
How tall is he?
Pretty massive. If I'm remembering everything right, he's pretty massive.
Well, then
You
why
you don't like miss him.
then why don't we try something else? And Serena's gonna pop Ide out of the pocket dimension and send him up
Okay.
through the bramble to see if I can spot a tree with wings, a massive tree with wings.
All right. You, Ide starts flying towards the canopy, and just as Ide is about to reach there, you see this vine just come out and grab Ide and suck it into the trees.
That was rude.
Oh, I forgot. Protection might not extend to my beautiful bird.
You can get your butt back, right?
I can bring him back, but he gets so mad every time that happens.
Well, we will apologize to him. All right, you said that your friend's a big giant tree with wings, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's something that's missing, or there's something that's blocking us, or we just keep missing each other.
What do you mean blocking us?
Look,
Or missing? What could be missing?
map. We go down that way. Next thing you know, he's behind us. We reverse. Next thing you know, he's down there. There's something that's blocking or tricking.
Is it possible that we just need to get off the path?
It's probably that. He's probably not using the path. He'll just go straight through the trees. They aren't going to bother him.
So, do we stay here and wait, or do we still play this game?
No, let's go a part of the way down and, wander off into the woods. And what is the worst that could happen?
I'm not answering that question.
Did you really say that?
Of course, I'm tempting fate.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
All right.
Let's see the map.
What was that about the map?
Raz wants to see the map.
Yeah, she'll hand it over.
Okay.
Okay, she's going to look at the map.
Yep.
Okay, she's going to actually. Can you show me where the roses are?
Nothing happens.
Figures. And then she hands the map back. All right, come. Let's go halfway.
All right, and we'll start walking the path. And every how? I mean, you said it was a couple minutes, right, to get
This was
down.
about the initial walk was about a 20-minute walk.
Okay, so like every 5 minutes, we'll stop and re-ask the question, like which way is Aquile?
Okay. And again, this path doesn't splinter or do anything. It keeps pointing you that direction
Mm,
to keep following the path. And you
Yeah,
reach an
about-
intersection again 20 minutes later. The path, there's a pathway to the right and a pathway straight ahead. And the pathway off to the right, you see it unfold and reveal a bag with coins. The image of a bag with coins.
Okay, so just to confirm, so when we first came here,
Yes.
from the way that we're coming, there was a path straight.
Yep.
And there was a path to the right.
Yep.
Then when we came back to this clearing, there's a path to the right and a path to the left.
No.
Like if I had my back.
Unless you're talking about consistent orientation.
Yeah. So
okay,
like
then yes.
so like we walked in. There's a path forward. There's a path right. We went right. Then we turned around.
Would it make it easier if I always told you the paths as if they were facing north?
Then there was a path. Sure. So there was a path that was north and a path that was south, and we came from the south. So then we took the south back to the hag, and then we came back. How many times did we go to the hag? Once. We backtracked once.
Yeah, this is your first time backtracking.
Coming back.
So the first time you arrived in this particular intersection, it continued going straight,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went off to the right with the bag of coins. Then you went to the bag of the coins, and then you came back, and it continued
The bag
going.
had disappeared.
Yeah, the bag had disappeared, and it kept going straight, like west and south, instead of north and south. And the dragon, the tree with the wings looks like it's still wanting you to go north at this point.
Okay. So Serena will just sort of nod and smile and say, okay, so it seems as though we are being reoriented by a force which I cannot discern, but when examining this map previously, noted that there is magical around us. So it's possible that the force itself is just inherently set up to get you a little bit confused and a little bit sent away on your way. However, when we examine where we are now, it's, as you can see, and she'll point to the bag with the coins in it, it is indicating that that way is where Kinsey is. And so in order to continue on the way that we need to go that way, and she'll point north.
Okay.
All right. Then let's go.
So if we stray from the path that we are pursuing, it's possible to get back to the path again, but we might need to take a circuitous route, which is very good to know. So we'll head north.
Okay. You head north again, and about 5 minutes later, you reach another intersection. This one goes in all directions, left, right, and continues heading straight.
What is the way to Aquilay?
And back the way you came. Interestingly enough, when you ask the question, the image appears on the southern route, the route you just came from.
Then that is the way we go.
Okay. Turn around and head back again another 5 minutes or so. And you come across an intersection that is now leading straight ahead and goes to the left and right. So a four-way intersection. Asking the question again, it wants you to head down the left path, so the western path on the map.
Okay. So we'll follow it.
Five minutes later, you arrive at a T intersection that is going north-south and the way you came from the east.
Mm-hmm. This is the first intersection of this kind. Like we've seen some 4-ways and we've seen some 3-ways, but this is the. Oh no, this one is a 3-way too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Is there anything about this, like any of the clearings that we've seen that, like, are there? Can we see? Is there tracks? Like, are we seeing our own tracks that are sort of
no.
tracking about? Okay.
In fact, you look behind you and you're not leaving any.
Interesting.
So to the south, the southern path is a star. It opens up and reveals, much like the bag. It goes into fine detail. It's a star with 3 more stars on top. So there would be like a big star, and then a little star to the left, top, and right of that big star, and then it's a circle around it, around the whole thing.
Is are they 5-pointed stars?
Yes.
It's a symbol I don't particularly recognize. Anyone?
Raz looks at it and see if she.
It's generic enough. And Serena, you know that different map makers and cartographers they come up with their own shorthand on how to differentiate certain points of interest. So basically, you know that this is a point of interest, similar to Kenzie's shop is a point of interest within these woods. So there's something there that is a point of interest that would be worth checking out. But the path leading towards Aquilay is heading on the northern path.
So we have 2 options. We can either attempt to discern what this marking means and gain more insight about the map itself and how to interpret it, or ignore that knowledge and continue on straight ahead. Which, I mean, for my own purposes, I could feel as though I could wander around and try and figure this thing out for quite some time very contentedly, but you know, that might not be what everyone wants to do. It's strange. The configuration, it reminds me of something, but I don't know what. Like, it has connotations. Stars, right? So, is it magic? Is it divine? Is it an observatory of some kind? What could it mean?
Well, the one thing is, let's say we do go there. What if we come back out and we have to start all over with these
Point.
paths?
Has time accelerated, or I mean, just still middle of the afternoon type timing, or
It's without the sun. It's impossible
So
to
pretty-
tell, but it's still bright outside.
okay? Didn't know if we were caught in time and space.
Yeah, and you're looking around. You can't get a glimpse of the sun. There's no rays heading in any direction. The shadows just seem to be all over the place.
Time we followed something on the map led us to a Pixie who sold us things, so didn't seem to lead us astray, if you will. But I mean, we don't know what we're dealing with here. I think we have a mission, and I think we should be on plan. Go for his friend, knowing a tree thing. Or, sorry, or tree being.
Do I get a sense? I'm trying to think if there would be any symbols like this in any of the maps or things that I have transcribed or combed through.
Go ahead and give me a history check. Okay. So you've dealt with maps, pretty much your whole life. You know for certain that a star on a map is sometimes it denotes like the biggest city, like the metropolis of like the capital of or like where the kingdom's origins are. A star tends to represent the larger than life stuff on a map. And not always, sometimes there's different art, but when we're talking about a more generic map, the star represents something extremely important.
Yeah, that's sort of what's been nagging at Serena. She's like, seeing that merchant was one thing, but this, I do not think it would be in our best interest to overlook. If we have to backtrack, even if we have to start at the very beginning, so be it. I think that it could be worth it. For whatever reason, we were gifted with this item that has led us to this point so far, and if it is showing the truth, which I cannot doubt that it has shown us truth so far, then this could be something important. Maybe not for now, or perhaps for our current destination, but if it is something that could help with whatever we face in the future, this should not be left behind.
You
If you
make
believe
a...
it's
Go ahead there, Rob.
if you believe it's that important, then I would say that we should investigate.
And if it's not, then I promise you that when we get back to that store, I'll buy those boots and eat them.
Oh, that's a bet. Love it. Hmm. Maybe they'll find the owner of this. He pulls it out of his pouch and flips the skull coin, catches it, looks at the skull. It's not ominous at all, is it? Anyway, you made a convincing point, lass. Let's see your star.
And so we'll start heading down that direction.
Okay. You start heading down that path, and about 4 minutes or so down the path, the map just sort of vanishes off the cloth it just kind of fades. And you go into this large clearing. There is only one path in, and it's the same path out. So basically, it's a cul-de-sac, if you will, of woods. Very large area, and the trees seem to be like twice as tall here as they have been being. In the center of this cul-de-sac, you see a stone, like a white stone pavilion. And sitting in it, facing you, is a large, or huge, we'll use the size connotations in the game, like snow white skinned giant. Very ice blue eyes and blue hair.
Being from the mountains, have I seen anything like this or know anything about
You've
this kind of
heard
giant
of
before?
you've heard rumors of giants, and this could be a cloud giant, but you're not sure. He's kind of leaning on one side of his chair that he's sitting in, and as you begin approaching, he just kind of looks your way and kind of sits up straight a little bit and puts both hands on the arms of his chair. You're still a good distance away, but it is apparent that this individual is not making any aggressive move towards you.
We can't just sit here, stare at the guy as he stares back at us. Anyone seen anything like this before?
This is definitely outside of my wheelhouse.
No. I don't remember anything like this.
Raz, you have the silver tongue. Why don't we go talk to it?
Yeah, so Ren will like pat Raz on the arm. We'll back you up. We'll go together.
Oh, hey, I'm moving forward with you.
Right. Yep, as we'll move forward. Hello.
Being nods. You see his eyes sort of flash a glow for just a moment, and it fades. Hello.
Is he like sitting on like a bench, you said?
He's
or
sitting
something?
up in a chair. He's
On a chair.
still towering, a towering presence, just sitting.
Well,
You can hear this motion sound from behind you.
she looks.
There are now no paths.
Did you do that?
I have no control over this place.
Always have to ask, just in case. Have you been here long?
I have roughly 100 years.
That's quite a long time. Have you? She's like kind of like looking around to see if there is like a place that he sleeps, like a home or something that's hidden.
Doesn't seem like it.
'Kay.
All that's here is this pavilion with this chair that's in the middle of it and this being.
Well, my name is Azal. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I am Erkandris.
Oh, that's a lovely name. What have you been doing here for 100 years? 100 years.
Mostly just waiting.
Oh, what are you waiting for?
Travelers.
Oh. For what?
Kind of tilts his head a little.
You did not come here seeking me.
Well, she looks to Serena. I think she did.
Serena will step forward and like do a really formal like curtsy and look to him and say, "Hello, my name is Serena Orisis, the House Orisis of my companions group, the Rovers of Chance. Who are you here? I hope this is not rude, but are you here of your own accord waiting? Or have you been sent?"
This is the first time someone who came seeking me has even thought to ask. But no, this is my prison. Until I can fulfill my duty. So, traveler, as you have come here seeking me, you and your group are now granted 3 wishes. Speak them wisely.
And that's where we're going to take a break.
I was gonna say, you see Raz kind of falter.
I didn't think Nightbot had that turned on. Oh, I don't think it was turned on the other channel. That's what's going on. So, Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna give the group a little time to kind of think about things
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit. See you in a little. I think 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
On the edge of the armrest. And just seems to stare and wait.
Well, I have nothing to wish for, so
Herr Candaris, may I ask you something? You said that your duty, or rather that you were imprisoned here from something else until you had fulfilled your duty. Is this duty that you speak of to grant these wishes to travelers, or is there some other duty that you are looking to fulfill?
Yes. I must grant 300 wishes.
How many have you granted so far?
5.
What were the wishes? Who did you grant them to?
That is not something I wish to discuss.
Of course. Pushing it a little, I see him. Apologize. If you give us a moment, can we confer? And
He just kind of motions with his hand. He doesn't
She'll-
seem to be in a rush.
she'll bow to him and sort of step back to the group. This is indeed a powerful boon, although, well, I know something that, and she'll look down at her hand, like the hand that used to wear the Source of Arcane glove. She'll say, there was something that I should have done back when I could, but I didn't. And in light of how difficult getting some of the sources have been and the troubles we've encountered, it might be a good thing to have. Sort of a contingency that I'd read about and spoke to some of my professors. It's the ability to create a duplicate of yourself. So that if you die, at least you can come back in a different way.
You never said that word. Yeah, that then.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. The music was really loud.
Oh, smacrolum. I can't say. It says he can't say the word.
No, it is a spell within the 8th circle of magic. It is called clone. You literally make a clone of yourself. It is a safeguard, although it does not happen right away. It must take some time to grow and mature. It is potentially within what this being is asking. I mean, Of course, this is sort of a selfish wish. This is something that would benefit myself. But
We do without with Serena in that group. You already died a couple times by my own eyes. Hate to see it permanent this time. But I did get to a point where I can prevent at least temporary death.
it's true. And of course, the spell itself, it has potential to do so many incredible things. It is basically whatever your heart's desire is. Is there something that we desperately need, that we desperately want, that seems out of reach at this time, or that we could think of that could turn the tide?
But you see Raz's face looks in pain, but she just kind of turns away.
Speak up, Raz. What is it?
I can't wish it. Because I don't know what I will get. Everybody has
enough.
desires, so... You know how wishes are. You have to word it. If you don't word it correctly, then... anything can happen.
Have anything to do with that cheeky lad?
Her eyes narrow at him. And then she just kind of blinks and just looks somewhere around the woods.
It's good to be cautious. I learned that the hard way. During the battle, I had wished that the strike that had taken out the tower was reversed. Saved the tower, but the people inside were gone. That is the trade for not being able to articulate everything that you need.
Aye, I'm in no rush to make some hasty magical wish.
He looks over to his like large host.
Candris, are we bound here until we make these wishes, or can we leave of our own volition?
The path will not reopen until the wishes are fulfilled.
I was worried about that.
And I can promise you, with your protections or not, you do not want to enter into the darkness.
You mean just wandering into the forest?
Yes.
Hey, we've seen houses uprooted. There you go, another nickel for me, Roarin.
What about you, Ron? What sort of wish sits in your heart?
Seems to ponder for a moment. There's a lot that's been going on in my mind that I wish I knew. Ever since Andressa told me that I'd be able to ask directly a question. I've got a few floating around my head, so I think more pertinently I would want to know or wish to have knowledge on the Warriors of Light that Queen Amania spoke of. I think that one sits heavily for me. knowing about them and who they are.
Serena's gonna turn back to Ercandrus and just say, a question. If worded properly, would the request be able to be deferred until a later date?
No. The wish may activate later, but it must be committed to now.
Right, so potentially if we say that at this time or a designated time, the effect would come into play.
You can try.
What did you do to get into this prison? Who is keeping you here?
He just doesn't respond.
All right, keep your secrets.
Well, do we ask 3 simple wishes that I guess any wish could have negative effects, as you said, Serena. But we can just ask for information, essentially, to the act of a wish. We're not leaving this place without committing to 3 wishes. So if there's something we absolutely must know, or if something absolutely must happen that y'all think, then let's have it. I've already my family back, so I kinda wish for that back. And I'll wish for something petty like gold.
You could get a mountain of gold, but then in doing so you could bankrupt an entire kingdom.
Crushed by it. Serena's words of wisdom are true. But I like the idea of finding out those warriors of light. That seems to not have... Not gonna say it. But if Roar need make that one of your wishes, or our wishes, I'm with you.
What about... I'm intrigued by the notion of information. But also the idea of We are here right now, doing the bidding of Andressa, attempting to find materials to create a potion that makes it so that a name, when spoken aloud, is powerless. Is it then conceivable to wish the power of the name away? Rendering it inert? Rendering it... What if we got rid of the name?
Got rid of the being, tried to wish the being away. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Or just the LFX of the name spoken aloud?
You thought that somebody might have tried that before.
I don't know.
We can know. Perhaps if we did that, then people would speak the name from the hilltops, and suddenly a religion sweeps the land, and instead of it being a subterfuge,
It's more
it's
powerful.
No,
Hey.
I don't mean... No, you misconstrue. I do not mean to... Maybe I'm not being very clear. What I'm trying to get at is, as opposed to removing the power that the name itself has, what if we instead cripple this being by removing its name? Making it nameless. With no name, how will it amass the followers? With no name, how will it influence and corrupt? With no name, it becomes nothing.
don't hear its name now, do we? So, how do we know if it worked? I don't know, but I like the idea.
But somehow you'll still have followers. And you'll still be powerful. I do. I get what you're saying. But even if you take something away, something else will come back. Or something even more.
Or it could go
Also-
exactly the plan, right?
I mean, this entity has been infiltrating the timelines and causing havoc across time. I mean, we've seen it with our own eyes.
Just said, what happens if we force it to one timeline? I wield the hammer and hit things. Not known for my brains, but an enemy that can't run away through the fingers of time is one we might be able to catch. Just saying.
Raz has like a puzzling look. Didn't he say that he granted 5 wishes, correct?
He did too. Yes.
So what happened to the other wish? It should be 6, not 5.
If the offer every time was for 3, then it's possible. He did not seem too keen to discuss. Srenner will turn around and say, Arcandrus, why is it that you have offered 3 wishes when there is 4 of us here? Is it within your regular practice to offer less wishes than travelers that emerge? Or is it always your practice to offer 3 wishes?
You are the one that claimed to come to seek me. The others are just your companions.
Sounds like someone bollocksed up. Perhaps they wished for that mountain of gold and succumbed to it.
Perhaps I should have been more better at describing you as not just companions. She looks kind of sheepishly at the ground because that's not how I see you.
Anyways, we need to figure this out because no telling where his friend's at now. And we've been straight off the path.
We could just wish to be free of the 3 wishes. Doesn't help him much, but might account for the reason why the guy has an odd number.
True.
We could just have some fun.
Aye.
Get a beautiful lunch, comfortable beds, a hot bath.
What are you saying?
Sure. Wish for an inn here, and then that poor person's inn is stuck in the middle of the woods.
Could do a lot of business with Kinsey, I think. And hey, if there is travelers that are coming here, they're going to need somewhere to stay.
Hey, we probably need beds here to figure out how we're gonna figure out these wishes, so yeah, next one probably could use a little inn right there. Some ale.
Actually, I
Chat
might
over
have
it.
that covered. So.
Here, you got ale covered. Share, lass, share!
Let's go back to these wishes.
Rowan, why don't you wish for like another one of those mayo jars that you love so much?
He folds his arms and looks like a little despondent. It's not a fucking mayo jar, and you know it.
Does it make the mayonnaise?
It doesn't make mayonnaise, no.
Then where does the mayonnaise come from? Is it like an extra dimensional cookery in there?
I don't know how it works, it just works. Mayonnaise is a lengthy process. Goes well on sandwiches.
Mayonnaise jug that they are all talking about. I saw it on your waist, but I never saw this mayonnaise. Sounds like it flowed out like a wave of whatever. You run into troubles with that. Anyway, you're right. Well, we getting distracted. I just say we wish for getting out the wishes and get back to our path. Quite alright.
Could always wish for more of these, and he pulls out his amulet. These are handy. And then he puts it away.
That is true.
And I mean, that's kind of a simple thing.
Until you find initials on it, and yes,
You're always so negative.
wishes are quite dangerous.
Ever made one?
Don't want to.
So you're speaking hypothetics.
Then why don't
Understood.
you make one?
I've suggested multiple.
Well,
You know what?
I'm just a companion.
that's right. we are
Aye, you
together.
can't make that. You cannot make that wish anyway. They have to come out of Serena's mouth. I have a strange feeling.
Wait. Can you still? No? Hmm? Are you alright to make this wish?
I can try. It's one of those things. As far as spellcasting goes, I do not believe that I can manifest the spell myself. However, I am not the one that is casting it. A cantress is, and just as I am able to benefit from spells that are cast by others, we may benefit from this one.
Alright. Well, what are we wishing?
The riddle of the warriors, the light. It seems like I can't see a downside to understanding that one. Not fickle enough to wish for any material gain, but we need to get going, right? Time is ticking, literally. Shite, I just thought it's gonna be really tough to wish for the name we must not name without saying the name, and that's just gonna be bad, isn't it? Unless our large friend knows who we're talking about exactly, and I have a strange feeling he's gonna ask to be for us to be quite
Yes.
specific.
You actually have a point there.
Granders, how long ago was it that you had granted these other wishes? You said you've been here for 100 years. Was this a recent thing? Was it, 98 years ago?
Yes.
Yes, 2 questions, lass.
So you granted some recently?
Yes.
How many?
2.
It's fascinating.
We already have precedent. You can ask 2 wishes, so maybe we find out the water is light and we wish from the wishes. And then we get the path back and we go on and find your tree friend.
That fool no longer exists. He still owes me a wish.
What fool?
The one that only got to his second wish before. Well,
Perhaps he wished himself or their self out of here.
What happens after we wish?
the path opens.
After we ask for all of them or after the first one?
All of them. 3 wishes. They're granted. Your path is opened.
glad, Senator, you decided that this was an important place to come and that you are going to be the one to make these wishes. Just saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really, really excited about this and not regretting this at all.
Oh no, it's wonderful. Great. Sun's still shining, whatever it is. I'm gonna just start looking at the stonework of his pavilion.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Or rather, a perception check. Do a perception.
Perception, or do I is like history with is like do my stone cunning thing? So,
I mean, you
investigation?
understand the stone. You're looking
Sure.
for something.
Investigation. There you go.
No, you perception.
Oh, perception.
Yeah, you're not walking up to it and actually like walking
Perceiving
around.
something. Yep. Oh yeah, it's good stone.
Yeah, so the stone is marble. So kind of nice. The cut on it is exquisite. Oversized, so probably made with a giant's hand. Not too. I mean, this is a pretty plain. It's a plain structure with an expensive stone.
This tap, I kind of slap the marble. Ah, great craftsmanship you have in here, Kendris. Ah. Oh, probably keeps the rain out. Hmm. That. If we can't make a decision about, like, wishing stuff for ourselves, why don't we wish some stuff for our fine host? It's very plain here. Do we see a bed, accommodations, or anything else? It's just a
Nope.
chair and an overhang. There you go. Comfort for another 92 wishes.
No, we don't need any more wishes. That is for sure.
No, not for us, but for the more 92 that this giant has to fulfill, so he can feel more comfortable in his prison while we find our way back onto the
Is it not?
path in front of him.
You have to do 300 wishes, right?
He had 300. Yeah, so yeah, 292.
292. Oh.
So needs all of the accommodations we can wish him.
Well, I mean, we could wish for information.
Let's do it. Let's just.
What is the most pressing? What do we need to know at this time? Because I know that I am interested in who put him here and why, but that
Go
could-
for it. What do we got to lose? If you ask some information, I can't. I mean, Raz can tell us, but I mean,
Raz
Sure.
is not going to say anything, and this is, yes, she is speaking in this way. So no. Wish is all yours.
who are the warriors of light? That is what you were speculating, yes, Roaran?
Well, it could be very key information, considering what they're meant to do,
And perhaps
especially for the battle that's coming up ahead.
perhaps how to find them and identify them, or bring them together.
Precisely.
who, how? Sorry. Who, how? and then we can wish him a bed or something. You know, something nice, maybe. Not just marble. He likes the idea. It sounds like it.
So what about something like this? Wish for you to truthfully tell me who the Warriors of Light are, how to identify them, and how to gather them together for the upcoming conflict.
Your wish is my command.
Well, there you go.
Well, see what happens.
It looks up towards the sky. The sky begins to darken somewhat. And you feel a drop of water hit your skin. And slowly the trickles begin to come down heavier and heavier.
Grant this creature her wish. So that I may fulfill my obligation to you.
Thunder in the distance, lightning. And you see him turn his head.
No. No!
And he pulls, and you hear the sound of chains that you cannot see. He slumps in his chair. The rain begins to cease. He holds his hand out, motioning behind you.
I'll turn around and look.
As you're turning, you're seeing the woods fold in and revealing a path behind.
I cannot grant you your wish.
He looks rather defeated.
Unless another one of you wishes to take upon the mantle, you are free to go.
Alright. You should go then.
Hospitality has been top-notch, but I have to decline that offer. I think we should be going.
Where did you meet him?
He's talking to you, Serena.
Me too.
The Jinn has already granted you wishes.
She looks. I did not. But we came in contact with an object that has clearly been infused with its magic.
then he has other methods of getting what he wants.
He just sits back into the chair.
Leave.
She'll bow once more, quietly, and retreat.
Yeah, Raz follows.
You walk the path.
Seems the way to go.
And Rowan gives him a small bow before leaving.
As you head down the path, it grows darker behind you. You arrive in an intersection north, east, and west.
Shanna's gonna take out the map and
And
Look at
south,
it.
the way you came. South.
yeah. What is the way that we need to go to find Aquilas?
It's saying go north.
So we head north.
You arrive in another cross intersection. The map tells you to go south.
Which way are we coming into this?
From the south.
This one. Okay. So we'll go south.
You head south about 5 minutes or so. You come into a T intersection that continues heading south from north to south and then also goes west. And the symbol opens up to the west.
Yeah, we'll go west.
You head west and you hit a T intersection that you're coming in from the east and it heads north and south. And to the south, you see the image of a star appear, and then 3 little stars to the left, top, and right of the larger star with a circle around it. But this time, the 3 little stars are not filled. They're empty. They're just the outline remains.
Just sort of look at it. That's not the way we go.
The image of the tree with wings is to the north.
Yeah, she'll turn toward the north.
You arrive at a cross intersection. And as you arrive to the left, you see the image of a bag with gold in it to the left. And the image of the tree with wings is to the right.
There's potential to run into Kinsey again unless there is another store within these woods. It's doubtful.
No, I say let's keep going to him.
Hmm. So I'll head to the right.
Okay. You come into a T intersection that goes north and south. And the way you came was from the west. And asking the map, it wants you to go back to the west.
Okay.
You head back that way.
Mhm.
And there's a T intersection that goes north and south in the way you came from the east. And it wants you to go south.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Okay. As you're traveling south for a few minutes, the tree line begins to lessen. Like the height of it begins to kind of come down, and you emerge. It's still heavily wooded, but the darkness that was sort of preventing your sight is slowly starting to vanish as you're able to see between the trees more and see into the distance. You also can see a river in the distance as well. Though off to the left, you can see what appears to be something glowing, even in daylight, like it's emanating a brightness, and you believe that it's sort of radiating at like a flame. And you catch a glimpse of a tree that is, its branches and leaves are engulfed in flame. There's lots of trees around it, but this is the only tree that is alit with this blaze. And you believe you see other small lights just swirling around it.
Is it close enough that we can like? Are we seeing it sort of like above the tree line, or is it like just off the road where we
it's
can?
up. So it's up a hill. There's a hill and that it's sitting up on, and so you can kind of see it above.
Does it seem like the fire is spreading, or it's just sort of being contained in this one?
That's what I was saying. There are trees nearby, but this is the only tree that seems to be ablaze.
Mm-hmm. So I was gonna point it out and say that's pretty weird, right?
It's definitely. I need to check it. I need to make sure that it's natural occurring. You remember that? You probably remember that man that was strapped to the tree. He was a
Someone to
fire
forget.
starter.
He was
Need to
what?
make sure no one else. He was a fire starter.
That's right.
I need to make sure no one else is.
All right. And
Wrong will start
follow.
heading in that direction.
Okay. Start heading through the woods. Going by tree after tree. Still quite littered with trees, but you seem to be out of whatever sort of maze you were in before, and the trail seems far less obvious here. In the distance, you can hear the trickling of water coming from a river spotted just earlier, but it goes out of sight in traveling to
this tree. As you approach, you feel some sort of energy emanating in the area, as if this place were protected.
Rowan will speak out loud, feeling this sort of. I'm assuming he would have felt something like this previously. But feeling it again, he'll sort of like put a hand behind him to tell the other people to, like, the rest of the group to stop. And he'll speak out loud. I'm not here to harm. I'm here to make sure that there is no harm. Please grant me passage.
The feeling, you feel it sort of wash over you a little.
In like a good way?
From behind the tree emerges a giant stag. Large antlers, white in color. A very revered creature within your culture.
Yeah, Roaran, seeing it, immediately gives a graceful bow.
The stag kneels its head, or kind of moves its head down towards the ground, sort of in a bow of its own, granting you passage.
He'll say to the stag, my name is Roaran. I am a druid nearby. I see fire in a tree. I just want to make sure everything's okay here. And then he'll make a gesture towards the rest of the group and be like, these are my companions. They travel with me. Are they safe to come as well?
The stag seems to nod.
Another respectful bow. Thank you. And then he'll look to the others and sort of give them a bit of nod that it's okay to follow, and then continue up.
Yeah, Raz will go up and give the stag a bow and follow Roran.
As you enter sort of the hill area, you all feel that energy is sort of washing over you as well. Stag sort of walks sort of behind the tree and then seems to vanish into smoke. And the smoke rises up and collects back towards the fire. So, you've come to defend these woods then, have you? The tree seems to speak.
I fight on the side of nature. I fight for the balance. Has anyone harmed you?
No. No one has needed me for a long time.
Pains me to hear such words. Are you in pain?
No. But you are the first to arrive in a very long time.
I seem to make a bad habit of doing that.
Generally, your kind only arrives when there's great need. And whether you intended to arrive or not is, well, that's just not the way that things work. Tell me, Druid. Is it my time to come assist the world in whatever peril threatens it?
It is a time for everyone to unite against what perils it. Else it could mean the end of everything.
So do you wish to undertake the trials?
Forgive my ignorance. Trials of who and what?
It is a simple test of strength. I can't just be bound to any druid.
Is it a lethal test? Is it to the death? I don't wish to endanger my friends.
Your friends are endangered anyway.
I suppose you're right.
So the question then, druid, is which threatens them more? This trial? And potentially attaining my assistance in whatever threatens this world? Does that outweigh the risk? To answer your question plainly, yes. Your lives will be at risk.
He looks to the others.
Our lives are constantly at risk. Getting out of bed in the morning is a risk. I mean, I could fall over and land on Durnfall's sword at any time.
Don't have a sword though.
Oh, gods, you're right. I'll have to get you a sword that I can fall on.
Seems a bit dark there, lass.
I would not advise these actions.
What I'm saying is that there's risk in all things we face. If this entity wishes for us to prove ourselves to it, for it to come help save the world, then so be it.
to say you could only die once, and that is a lie. So, let's have it.
Rowan glances to Raz for her input. What do you say to a new ally?
Ally's always good.
It's not the first time. Remember back in the cave?
Which cave?
The one with the giant snake.
Yes.
Rowan will turn back to the tree. Well, then, before we start, you should name my name is Rowan. I look forward to your future company. He pulls out his quarterstaff and readies his shield.
Then ready yourselves. I look forward to observing what you are capable of, Rowan. Now, face your trial. And behind you, you begin to hear branches begin to crack and move. As before you, six trees begin their movement. As six treants begin their approach up the hill. And the trial begins. And that's where we're going to close tonight's session.
But Durnfall taps his hammer to his shield menacingly.
That's where we're gonna close tonight's session.
Didn't you hear the DM? The session's over.
You can still tap it. It's okay.
No. Pause. Game pause. Pause. Treants are coming. It's dramatic.
It is indeed.
All right.
Good to be back, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
I have a
many
technical
reasons.
question.
What?
I have a technical question.
What is a technical question?
Do we get access to our level up things now, or do we have to wait until we finish a long rest?
You need a long rest.
Okie dokie artichoke.
So, roll back the level until long rest. What
You
do?
can have the stats and the
Right.
whatever.
So
shit.
Are you guys? Wait. Are you guys? Have you guys used anything? Are you guys pretty spent?
No, I haven't.
Because I don't remember when the last long rest was. Did we long rest and then head out here?
Yeah,
I think
basically.
so.
Yeah. So you can go
Yeah,
ahead. And,
'cause-
You can go ahead and have all your stuff then.
Okay.
Okay.
So that last
Setting-
long rest is when you acquired all that.
Okay. So we have
Okay.
access to 7th level spells.
Yeah.
Cool.
Goody.
I'll still keep that one. I spent one of my packed slots to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that
We'll
was
just rewind and just say the last long rest is when you leveled up and acquired your stuff.
Sounds good. That's because I was like, okay, and then I was like, I'm not really, I don't have a lot of stuff, but we'll figure it out. We'll make it work.
Yay. All right. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we kind of got back into things. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next week as the story continues, and yeah, things happen. You guys on the map, like within the area there that you guys are in, you guys can move yourselves around. I didn't know. I figured Roarwen was near the tree, and then you guys, I wasn't 100% sure where you were, but I figured that would be pretty good. So
Okay.
Fine with me.
all right.
Yeah, I would probably say that Rowan took a step forward when he was like, "You should know my name is Rowan."
All right.
Very dramatic step forward.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next week. We're gonna get back into the streaming thing. Oh, and VODs are probably going to end up on YouTube from now on. Just so everybody's aware.
There you go.
I did a separate recording, and I'm not planning on hosting VODs on this channel at all. So wait for the YouTube VOD on my other channel. All right. See you guys later.
Sounds good.
Cheers, all.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.